Chronological Bible in a Year Reading, Day 82. Today we finished the book of Deuteronomy, and we also hopped over to Psalm 90. Now, growing up, if you would have asked me who wrote the book of Psalms, I would have told you David. But as I grew older and studied and read more of the Bible, I learned Psalms is a collection of writers, and one of which I honestly had completely forgotten until this reading plan, was Moses. Psalm 90 is a psalm of Moses. It's titled A Prayer of Moses, the Man of God. And this psalm and the end of Deuteronomy correlate quite well with one another. I'm currently doing a preaching series covering famous sermons, kind of re-preaching the preachers of old. And last week we did a John Wesley. This coming week I'm doing a Jonathan Edwards, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, which he quotes directly from the end of Deuteronomy in chapter 32. But this psalm almost even more so speaks to what Jonathan Edwards is telling us. In verse 7, Moses says, "We are consumed by your anger. We are terrified by your wrath. You set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence." And Moses just goes on and kind of highlights some of the fear we should have of God's just wrath. But then at the end, there's this memory that God cares, loves, and guides those who care and love him. In verse 15, Moses says, "Make us rejoice for as many days as you have humbled us, as many years as we've seen adversity. Let your works be seen by your servants and your splendor by their children. Let the favor of the Lord our God be in us. Establish for us the work of our hands. Establish the work of our hands." I love how Moses takes this psalm and he looks at the just wrath of God, the wrath we deserve, a trend commonly echoed in Romans, but then turns to the grace, the mercy, and favor of God. So here's a question for us to sit with today as we look to Joshua tomorrow is, how can the wrath of God be a good thing? I'm not saying that we need to focus solely on it, for his love is just as great, but how can his wrath be a blessing? I would love to hear your thoughts, and I know some who watch these will disagree with that concept at all. So if you could explain why you disagree, let's have a good dialogue. And I'm looking forward to starting Joshua tomorrow. But until then, God bless.